Hey book friends, I'm Erin and this is Erin Go Read. I am about to go on an adventure. Super fun. It is Saturday morning about 8:45 a.m. and I'm about to take a road trip going down to Owens Valley, California, which is southeast of Yosemite. So it's going to be about a 5.5, 6 hour drive for me. And I'm going on a rock climbing adventure. So tomorrow is going to be the big rock climbing day. Today we're driving down. Camping, we'll be camping tonight and tomorrow night, and I'll be coming back on Monday. So I am about to pack my car. There's just a bunch of junk in here right now. Some of that's coming with me. Some of that is coming out. So I basically need to get the cooler set up, get everything ready in my car. I'm gonna make sure, I'm already listening to Apples Never Fall, have that on audiobook, and I'm gonna make sure that I have 1 or 2 other books already downloaded or like available. So I don't end up without an audiobook. And then eventually I'll tell you what I'm taking as well. So I'm super excited for this. Not a lot of reading has been going on lately. So yeah, we'll see. I will definitely be getting some audiobook reading done, and hopefully I can capture some of the climbing, some of the hiking, stuff like that. So it is a beautiful day, and I'm just stoked to get on the road and get this adventure started. The last thing before I go, just had to tape my obliques. I had an allergy-related injury. So I've been a rock climber for I think today is day 9. The first day I rock climbed was last Thursday. Super into it. My obliques were sore from rock climbing. You use a lot of abs, a lot of obliques. The next day I had like a hay fever attack from like Friday through like midday on Sunday. And my already sore obliques then just got crushed from sneezing. So I kind of had this like oblique strain going on, and then I was rock climbing yesterday, and like, oh, it was so apparent. So I have like kind of strapped myself up, put the kinesio tape on, and hopefully it will help immensely with my ability to actually climb tomorrow. Hoping you can see greenery around me. I'm in the mountains right now. I'm probably I think I'm like 20 miles from Lake Tahoe right now. I'm in Strawberry, which growing up we camped here several times, and this is very different from actually where I'm going to be camping. This is the Sierra Nevada mountains, and it's beautiful, although this is the first time I've been up here in a few years. I haven't been up here since the fire, so it's really sad when I find pockets of just burnt out trees and everything. But snow on the ground, just beautiful trees everywhere. I'm looking up. Obviously I can't show you because I'm driving, but I'm looking up at a mountain full of snow. It's gorgeous, but very different from where I'm actually going. I'm going to the desert. I'm going to be in Nevada, or we're gonna be in Eastern California, furthest southeast I've ever been to stay. So where I'm going, Owens Valley, is like desert. I'm not sure if it's high desert. I don't know what the altitude is. I think it's high desert though. But then I guess we're gonna go into that's where we're camping. Where we're actually gonna be climbing is gonna be in, I guess there's like this beautiful like oasis. And gosh, this is gorgeous right now. See if I can turn the camera. You probably can just see white. But yeah, it's amazing. It just like, I feel like my whole, I don't want to like in fear of sounding woo-woo, my whole like vibration is just like elevated, just being surrounded by all this granite, snow, trees. So my last big trip out into nature, of course, was Hawaii. Very different situation, but I think it's really similar, and it's a good reminder of just like how much I'm affected by how much I'm affected by nature in such a positive way, and I'm not even outside in it yet. That's really crooked. I'm not even outside in it. I'm just looking at it from the car. So yeah, it's just freaking gorgeous right now. Sunny. It's actually really nice because we haven't had a storm for a few weeks. So the mountains are covered in snow, but I don't have to drive through snow or deal with chains or anything like that. Gosh. I don't know if I've had to drive through snow since I was like 18. I don't have a lot of driving through snow practice. I think the only time I've ever come over the mountains in the snow, I was like 18. Although I was on Highway 80 going to Reno, as opposed to Highway 50 going to towards Tahoe. Anyway, listening to Apples Never Fall, which is getting it's getting serious business. Obviously, I can't tell you like exactly what's happening, but like premise of the book is a dual timeline, kind of like the current day, and then in the past. And like the stories like kind of start to get closer and closer together before I imagine eventually we'll just end up with one timeline is what it seems like. So we have Stan and Joy Delaney are a married couple. They are retired, but they had run a tennis school, and they have 4 kids who are now all adults. Stan and Joy are now in their late 60s, and Joy goes missing, and so we're getting the current timeline is the police are now involved. It's a missing persons investigation. We're getting conversations like the investigators, the detectives looking into it, asking various members of the family questions, trying to figure out what happened to her, and then we have the past timeline as well, which really kind of starts off with a knock at the door, and a stranger ends up on their doorstep, a young woman named Savannah, and she was involved in a domestic violence situation with her boyfriend, and she just needed somewhere safe to be, and she kind of gets like adopted into the family. So what now, a few years later, is her involvement, if anything, in Joy's disappearance? Who had motive, that kind of stuff. And so obviously as the story goes on, the layers of the onion start to be revealed. And what I like about this format of story is it makes me think of a puzzle where you have like a portion of it, the puzzle done over here, a portion of the puzzle done over here, but maybe you have like a missing piece or two, and then things aren't quite connected, but as the story goes, the completed parts start to form together, and then those missing pieces get filled in, and we find out ultimately, who done it, why done it, all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna keep driving. It's gorgeous, and I'll probably update you when I get to Owens Valley. Really had to pee. I am somewhere in Nevada. I'm kind of in this big valley, like surrounded by ranch land. You know you're in Nevada when you go into a 7-Eleven and there are slot machines. But I had to pick up some essentials. Got a IPA and a couple Celsius energy drinks. Ice chest is frozen solid. So I was walking around in that 7-Eleven kind of waiting for someone to get out of the bathroom so I could use it, and someone calls my name. I'm like, what the hell? Who knows me in BFE, Nevada? It's Mark, the husband of my friend Meredith, who the people I'm going camping with. So it's kind of a funny, nice little rendezvous. So I know that I'm on the right track. I was actually literally going to check the directions, make sure, like, I was having this irrational fear of, like, I guess it's not irrational, but like, crap, what if I like put the wrong address in and I've just been driving for 2 hours in the wrong direction? I've certainly never been to this part of Nevada before, and so I think I'm going to continue going east, and then eventually I need to go south, because ultimately that's where I'm going. So I suppose hopefully I'm going to be going south soon. So back to the road. Apples Never Fall just ended, and I really liked 90% of the book. I liked wrap up of a significant section of the story, but the end part of it just didn't work for me. The specific ending, but then the end portion, and I guess it was the last, like, I don't know, 3 chapters or so. It's kind of always hard to gauge that when you're listening to an audiobook. But yeah, it was an underwhelming and confusing ending for me. I feel like I need to, like, read about it once I get out of the car. Like, did I miss something? I feel like I did. But even if I understood the last bit, just that last chunk of it just kind of lost me a little bit. So anyway, I'm gonna start Middlemarch, and I'm in, like, such a weird area. Like, I've never been in just such a vast open, like, there's mountains and everything. I'm surrounded by snow. There are trees now off in the distance, but there was a while where there was just not even any trees. It was just like mountains and snow. Kind of weird. But I am now officially headed south, about an hour and a half away from the campground. I'm starting to feel kind of stuffed up. So yeah, hopefully my allergies. So I have chronic non-allergic vasorhinitis, which basically means that I don't have a specific allergy to anything. Like, I've had allergy testing done, didn't react to anything, but my system reacts and overreacts to everything, including, like, temperature change, barometric pressure change, stuff like that. So I think, and it might even be the elevation that I'm feeling. So I think I'm at like 5,000 or 6,000 feet right now, whereas I live at sea level. So I don't know. I just sneezed a few minutes ago, which does not feel good on the oblique pull. Although better since I have it taped. But yeah, just feeling kind of stuffy and snotty. So I'm hoping that's not gonna continue to be a problem. But man, it is beautiful, and there's something like I don't know, very just interesting about driving somewhere completely new and so foreign feeling. We are now back in California. We were in Nevada. I say we, it's just me. Yeah, back in California, or we were in Nevada for a little while, back in California now, heading southbound. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up Middlemarch. I'm really hoping, I know the version I got it on Audible, and it's read by Juliet Stevenson, which I don't think I've ever read anything or listened to anything by her, but I know that she is a much loved audiobook narrator, and she does a lot of classics. So hopefully, I'm hoping it's done in a way that I can really pay attention and get absorbed into the story. Because sometimes classics for me on audiobook are kind of hit and miss. So hopefully I get into it, and Juliet Stevenson, hopefully I just fall in love with Juliet Stevenson as well. All right, I am here. I was actually really afraid because there was just so much snow, and I only came out of the snow like probably 10 miles maybe before I got down here. So we were at about 5,000 feet. And we've got the sun is back there, so it's hard to see, but there's some beautiful mountains right behind me. But this is really pretty boring. As far as, like, there's nothing here. It's just gray and brown, but there is some rushing water right here, which you may be able to hear. I'll turn you around so you can see it. So we are right beside this. There's a nice shot of the mountains in the background. There seems to be a lot of people fly fishing out here. Nice serene little area. Not bad. cozy in here. I got a yoga mat and then like a camping mat, and obviously the sleeping bag. And it's actually quite comfy. Very, I can feel how insulated this is already. So hopefully lots of layers tonight, long johns, all that, and it should be quite cozy. Little one-person tent. So I totally packed the ice chest with the food, and then on my way out of town grabbed the ice and dumped it on top, and I've like fully encased everything in, it's like Han Solo, and I'm trying to break it out. I'm using a tent stake in my very cold hands. Unfortunately, I kept the bags because I didn't have a trash can nearby, so I'm trying to extricate my food from the ice chest so I can rearrange it so we can actually get to the food. Fortunately, it's like 50 degrees, which is not warm, but the sun is out and I'm in direct sun. So at least it's not freezing. My hands, on the other hand, are freezing. But once I do this, I'm gonna bust out my camp chair, eat a turkey cheese sandwich, and I already busted out a can of beer. So my friends aren't here yet. I know they were gonna stop and eat on the way in between when we met each other at the 7-Eleven in here. I got the tent up on my own. It's a brand new tent. I haven't set up a tent since I was a little kid, probably maybe like 12, probably the last 12 or 13, the last time I went camping and helped set up a tent. And I was really afraid that I was gonna get here, they were gonna get here and it was just gonna be a mess and I was gonna have help, and I'm like, maybe I'll just sleep under the stars tonight. But I got it up, sweet. Now all I gotta do is get my food out of the ice chest and I can actually like sit down and chill and maybe even read for a while before Meredith and Mark get here. So it is Sunday morning. It's 24 degrees, so I think it probably was below 20 overnight, but actually pretty snug, as long as I just stay covered up in the middle of the night. So a decent night of sleep. We just did some warm up. We did a little bit. One of our fellow campers does acro yoga, so we did a little tutorial in that, and then we're gonna drive. It's about 30 minutes to the trailhead to where we're actually gonna climb.
Well, see, if it's a mom and a baby, then you don't want to.
You just don't even care. You don't even care. You're like, I'm good. We're fine. Don't lose our peeps.
Hey, you want to do a selfie?
Cow selfie. That's cute.
So we had a really epic day of climbing. I think I did 3 climbs, but there's like 5 of us, so it takes a lot of time. It was freezing, just lots and lots of layers. But yeah, just a really amazing time. You can't tell in this lighting, but I definitely got a little bit burnt on my face, which is the only thing that was actually, exposed to the sun. So it's now, I think it's like 7:30, 7:45. It's pitch black. We're back at our campground. After we climbed, we went into the nearest town of Bishop, and we got some burgers and beer, which was like amazing. Like eyes rolling. It was like really good food, but also just like after the kind of day that we had. Not in addition to the climbing, there's also like the hike in and out, which was like nearly as harrowing as the climbing itself, just not on ropes. So just like super fun. I'll talk more about it later. But I'll probably hang out with my people for a little bit, for a little while, but I will definitely be reading more of Ladyparts, which I'm super enjoying. So actually the lady that I'm climbing here with, it's her nonfiction book club that I'm reading that with. So she has it, I noticed in her car, she's listening to it on audiobook. I'm reading it physically, and it's just going super, super well. Before I went to bed last night, I listened to about 30 minutes of Middlemarch on Audible. Decent night of sleep last night. Hoping tonight will be even better, just kind of being a little bit more accustomed to the setup. But yeah, super fun day. I think I'm gonna sleep really well tonight, and then we're just gonna kind of take our time getting back. Tomorrow we might hit up some hot springs, might check out Mono Lake, like whatever. Yeah, so that's all for tonight. All right, it's Monday morning. We've got cows grazing, or cow grazing. We got her packing up. I'm all packed up, waiting for the rest of my party to finish up packing up their stuff, and then we're gonna, I think, kind of take our time heading back. We're gonna hit up some hot springs. I'm a little wary just because of not about hot springs, but like just the logistics of like clothing situation. I didn't bring a swimsuit. I don't have any like shorts, so I think I'm just doing like underwear and sports bra deal. And then I don't even have a towel, so I'll probably just use like the sweatpants I'm wearing right now as a towel, and then chained into my dry jeans afterwards. So, and I just wanted to check out, there's a day use area right here. A lot of people do fly fishing over here. So this beautiful river stream thing right here, and it was really like having a white noise machine as we were sleeping. You know what it sounded like when I would wake up in the middle of the night? It sounded like the air conditioning was blowing. But gosh, how gorgeous is this? Like, wow. And then turn around, more flowing water, just open sky, and then you look up and then there's just an incredible mountain. So freaking cool. So apparently our timing was really good. It's supposed to snow tomorrow, so we just came in at the absolute perfect time. There's snow to look at, but not snow on the ground where we physically are. So it makes it, I think, perfect. So this is Lower Owens River is where we are right here. Yeah, just freaking amazing. Like, I'm so glad I came on this trip. I'm so glad I said yes. One thing I've been talking about with a couple of people recently is I feel like I have, ever since I was 15 and said yes to going on this student ambassador trip to Europe, I have a hard time saying no to an opportunity, even if it's something that scares me. And so this is definitely something that would be out of my comfort zone, but it's like, take the opportunity, take the chance. It's a calculated risk. I'm not doing anything like dangerous or anything like that. I'm with people. But you know, go have the adventure. Have memories you get to cherish for the rest of your life, and then just getting to be unplugged and experience something as truly awesome as this. You just gotta say yes sometimes. Oh, there's our friend again. I think we've got more of his friends back here.
Oh, the first one?
Yeah,
How exciting.
it is.
The best thing you'll ever do.
I
I always tell my wife, it's like there's a lot of things in life, our son's 22, and to this day, whenever I hear the word dad, it's just warm heart. It's just the best thing ever. I love that. It's like, hey, dad.
So we just did the hot springs. I didn't want to get my phone out and risk dropping it in, but it is so freaking beautiful. Like, so we're in the hot springs, looking at that as the view. So cool. Met a lot of people hanging out half naked in the hot springs. Actually found some people that are from right down the road from us, people from Folsom and Fair Oaks, like us. Whoop, muddy. So yeah, it's just amazing. Oh, here's some more. Didn't see these ones. Here's some other hot springs right here. We walked right by this one, didn't see it. But look at that view. 2 hours exactly away from home, and just took our time coming home. So we just kind of convoyed it a little bit. About 45 minutes from where we were staying was a hot springs, so we went and did that. Probably walked like 3 miles, probably like a mile and a half in, mile and a half back out, through the snow, uphill through the snow both ways. Totally worth it, like epic views. I showed you that. And then we stopped off for lunch / coffee at this place, Walker Coffee Company in Walker, California. And like we spent all weekend together, yet the 5 of us couldn't get enough of each other, and we hung out for like an hour and a half probably, sitting outside on a, like, surrounded by snow at a picnic bench, eating our lunch, drinking our coffee, and just chilling. So, well, there's a bunch of cows right there. The sun is currently behind the mountain. It's just like this. We were talking about it when we stopped. This whole drive is so amazing. There's not like it'll be about 15 miles from my house before the views stop being really cool. And then it's just like everyday life, like the hills before you get down, the foothills, like mountains and the foothills. The foothills are not so interesting, and then I'll be down like at sea level in Folsom. Okay, what I want to talk to you about was Middlemarch. So I've been listening to Middlemarch on audiobook the last couple nights. I was listening to it before I went to bed, did the whole like sleep timer kind of deal, and then I've been listening to it the last 2 hours in the car. And I'm sorry, Kim, middle of the book march, I don't get it. Like, I'm 12 chapters into this book, and I don't know what it's about. Like, I thought I did. It started off with this one family, and there's like these 2 daughters, and they're kind of trying to get married off situation. Their uncle is their guardian, and like one's gonna get married to this guy, and like that kind of stuff is going on. And I was following that, and then like I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I'm like, who the hell are we talking about? Like, who are these other people? Like, I must have missed it. I'm gonna need to go back. I think what I probably need to do is go back to the physical version, and maybe if I read the physical version a bit, I'll be able to get back into the audiobook and have a greater sense of the actual story and be able to follow along on the audiobook a lot better. But as of right now, it just I'm listening. I'm trying to pay attention, and I'm like, what just happened? What I don't know. I'm not picking up on it. So I'm hoping that will change, and I'll be able to love it. Like, because I know like this is a really beloved book, and I don't want to be the one knobhead that doesn't get it. So I think I'm going to switch back. I'm going to stop listening to it now, and then I'm going to switch back to the physical version of it, at least for a little while. The other book I'm reading, the nonfiction book, Ladyparts, is going really well. It's just really, really readable. I'm interested in Deborah Copaken's other work. She has, I think, one other memoir. I think that's the Red Book, and then at least one novel, if not multiple novels. So I'd be interested in reading those as well. It's just really, she had some shitty stuff happen to her in her life, but she tells the story of it really well. And so it's just kind of a continuing saga.
Continue on to CA88.
Thank you. Continue on to CA88. Just a continuing saga of what's going on in her life. But yeah, it's told really well. So it kind of excites me to polish up the ending of my
In
book.
12 miles, turn right onto Luther Pass Road.
So yeah, it just kind of like excites me to polish up my epilogue and just shore up the ending and everything, and get it to a place where we're back to publishing land, back to talking about publishing. One thing actually in regards to publishing, I was like completely against self-publishing just because it just seems like such a pain in the butt hassle. And there's like traditional publishing, self-publishing, and then there's hybrid publishing. And in hybrid publishing, you basically pay the publisher to do all of the work for you, but it doesn't have to like sit in a bin for your manuscript to be read a year later, and then maybe they don't even pick it up like in traditional publishing. And so I was just gonna go the hybrid route because it seems like the easiest, most just like quickest way to get it from a document on my computer into somebody's hands. But at TEDx Folsom, I met this woman, Julia Nicholson. Her book is in my backseat. I'd hold it up for you if that was safe to do, but it's not. And her book is more of a how-to kind of thing. It's called Moving Forward Stronger. And she's had shit happen in her life too. She's a widow. Her dad died in Vietnam when I think she was 8. And she did completely self-publishing, and she really, really recommended it. She's like, I would not do it another way. And she's already kind of done all the legwork. And basically, she gave me access to her and all of her resources. So that might be something that I explore, because you get to have a lot of say. You get to have all of the say, actually. You get to have all the say, and you don't have to give up any rights. And so, yeah, 2 different lines I'm gonna explore, the hybrid method and self-pub. So anyway, that's all for now. I think I'm just gonna rock out to some music instead of listening to Middlemarch now on the way. So I got on the rest of the way home. Hour and 55 to go. Hopefully I don't get too sleepy as the sun is going down, although I am somewhat dangerously drinking an energy drink at 4:36 p.m. But I don't have to wake up. I don't have to wake up early tomorrow morning. I probably will, but I don't have to. So if I don't, but I feel like I've had such a long day and weekend. It's gonna feel so good to be in my warm, cozy bed tonight. Hopefully I will sleep well despite the 4:30 p.m. energy drink. Should I wrap up the vlog right here? There's nothing else interesting is gonna happen. There's no more bookish content. There's no more travel content. I'm just driving home. You've been there before with me. Thank you for watching. See you around the tubes.